Welcome back to another episode of The Update Live. I'm Noah.
And I'm Aarika.
And we're very excited to bring you this week's news and updates.
Alright, so starting with Zoran Mamdani and his recent victory in the New York City mayoral election. He was announced winner on the 4th of November. A bit of information about him. He is a 34-year-old socialist and he's focused on working class issues. He was born in Uganda, raised in Cape Town, and he moved to New York when he was 7, and he attended the Bronx High School of Science, and he graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree from Bowdoin College. His father, Mahmoud Mamdani, is a professor at Columbia University, and his mother, Meera Nair, is an Indian filmmaker, and she's directed movies such as Namesake, which I recommend. It's a really, really good movie. So I just wanted to throw that in there. He has defeated the former New York governor Andrew Cuomo and opponent Curtis Sliwa. And Trump is not a big fan of this, and he keeps on saying that Mamdani is a communist and that he's going to take over the city once elected.
Just a point on that, because many people were actually comparing the similarities of Trump and Mamdani because they can be like quite similar figures. They're quite polarizing. For both of their respective sides of the political spectrum. But in an interview, when Trump was asked this, he's like, "Oh, but I think I'm better looking now." I mean, up to you. I'm not sure what your type is, but I don't know. It's just a funny thing. And then while we were kind of giggling at Curtis Sliwa, he's just a bit of a funny guy. He always brings up the fact he was shot 5 times. I mean, if I was shot 5 times and I survived, I would probably bring it up too.
Yeah, same.
But, I mean, sometimes I'm like, dude, you're forcing it. Like, he's like, oh, yeah, as you know, when I was shot 5 times with hollow-point bullets by the Gambino crime family, I mean, yeah, we got it. Give us a little break and tell us what you're actually campaigning for, not the fact that you were shot 5 times. Okay, so moving on. In the same subtopic, the city of New York, traditional power brokers, including the real estate business and sectors concerned with Mamdani's democratic socialist identity, banded all together in support of Cuomo and donated $1 million to the anti-Mamdani action committees. So they were coming all together to try to
prevent him from winning,
so that they could try to avoid his main point, which was rent freeze, which would mean that they would kind of lose money habitually. This actually helped Mamdani win, as he put it in his campaign, as a fight between working class people and billionaires. So he took pretty much what was put against him, man. Quite a smart move. He flipped it around. He said, this is what I'm actually going up against, and this is what I'm going to do for you. He worked at quite an admirable campaign to come from almost no one knowing his name to winning the Democratic primary in a couple months ago. When was that?
Yeah, it was...
I forgot when it was, but he won the
July,
primary, and then now he took home the election. And I mean, I knew many people who were following this, which is quite crazy considering it's just a city. New York, of course, does have an effect on all of us, but
it's a very big city.
It's a very big city, but you wouldn't really have besides for the UN being in New York, you wouldn't have that much such coverage on such an event. I
think him being there is what made it such popular topic.
I'm sure if we had a race for the governor of Austin, I'm not sure there'd be as many people going for it compared to Mamdani. I don't know why, but I also think maybe it's the fact that he used social media to grasp in his range.
His social media really helped with this campaign.
Yeah.
So he's going to be inaugurated on January 1st, 2026. He is New York's first Muslim mayor, first South Asian to hold the office, and one of the youngest mayors elected in modern times. His plans are to create New York's first universal childcare program, make buses free, which he's talking about a lot, and freezing the rent for a lot of the tenants of the city. So
this will hopefully reach 1 million rent stabilized tenants
in the city.
So getting a grasping range there to try to affect the people of New York, because I mean, as I see it, sometimes I hear people say, I'm just using school examples. Stuco doesn't really have any power, and I'm kind of saying Stuco doesn't have that much power. Come at me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. I just think that Stuco kind of has a bit of power. They can run the events and everything, but this also, I feel like some people were like, oh, but mayors don't have that much presence compared to the president. So I'm interested to see how this actually will go.
How he's going to use his
How
power.
he's going to use his power. How will it actually work?
How much of it can he actually use, and like, how much can Trump stop him?
Yeah, and
That's a real question.
Will Trump be right about him? Probably not.
I hope not.
You never know.
You never know. Yeah.
Always a surprising door with us in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Former French President Nicolas Sarkozy is released from prison after 3 weeks in jail, which he served. He said he had been a grueling and a nightmare when a judge ruled that he can serve the rest of his sentence at home.
Did you not understand this?
I think I read that wrong, guys.
He did. So after 3 weeks of spending time in jail, the former French president, which he said his time in jail was grueling and a nightmare. After spending 3 weeks, a judge has now ruled that he can serve the rest of his sentence at home.
Sorry. Yeah. No, you can continue. I see.
No, because I'm reading the next point.
Okay. He went to prison on the 21st of October, so we actually covered that when he did go to prison. After a Paris court gave him a 5-year sentence for criminal conspiracy over a scheme to obtain election campaign funds for his 2007 presidential race from the regime of the late Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi. So, Nicolas Sarkozy denies any wrongdoing and has appealed against his verdict. So the original verdict, not the one to stay at home. And judges decide that he must go to prison while the appeals process took its course. And on other news, Aarika would like to share something.
Yeah, so yesterday our time, 2 o'clock, India time, 6:52 p.m., 8 people were killed and several injured after an explosion near a major Delhi landmark. So the landmark is the Delhi Red Fort, or Lal Killa, and it was caused by a car which exploded, and then the surrounding area was set on fire. According to police, a slow-moving vehicle had stopped at a red light just outside the Lal Killa metro station, and an explosion happened in that vehicle, and due to the explosion, nearby vehicles were also damaged. Just a quick bit of history about the Lal Killa. It's a huge 17th century Mughal palace and fort, and it is located in Old Delhi. And if any of you ever go visit India, I really recommend. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And if you like history, then it's amazing. And the Prime Minister, he gives a speech there every year on Independence Day. So it's a very, very popular tourist destination. And because of this incident, and also due to the fact that police don't really know what exactly happened, the city of Mumbai has been put on precautionary high alert. And an order was issued to the neighboring state of Uttar Pradesh to increase security at religious sites and sensitive border areas and also tourist destinations. So a bit of context as to why this might be happening is because terrorist attacks have happened before in India. There was one in 2008 in, I think, November. It was like 26/11, I think, that's like the date, and it was basically a bunch of bombings in Mumbai by I think an Islamic Pakistani group, like a very extreme Islamic.
Okay.
No, Pakistani was Pakistani, like a really extreme militia group in Pakistan. So I think where like the mind of people is going right now is maybe that was a terrorist attack. Maybe that was some kind of attack. So.
And this is also like, I'm just going to tap in on this. This is quite interesting because also I know that up in because I was recently in the Nordics, in Sweden and Denmark. I went for a trip there to see my sisters at uni, and because we went from Copenhagen and then into a small city, one of the oldest cities in Europe, Aarhus in the south of Sweden, and then we, of course, made our way up to Stockholm to see them. But while we were crossing there, we had to go get a stop for our passports on the train, which we were a bit surprised about, but it's because they're seeing a lot of rise in in like terror or like they're scared of a terror group going to a mosque and like blowing it up. They're afraid of pretty much people going in and attacking people based on their religious beliefs because there's a lot of wide misspread information about Muslim people and immigrants trying to commit murders and rapes and stuff like that, and so they're really scared about that happening. So this is maybe another thing that the whole world is kind of going on a bit of like a watch around religious areas because it can like stir up tensions in the world, as we know is right now is quite in a spiraling mode.
Well, in the case of this, it doesn't have to do specifically with religion. It just has to do with like the conflict between India and Pakistan that's like been there ever since partition.
Yeah, exactly.
Which did in some ways originate from religious difference, but India is not like a purely Hindu country. It has a bunch of religions, including Islam. But there are some extreme opinions on both sides that are not correct. And has caused a lot of conflicts. Like recently, well not recently, but I think it was last year. Sometime, it was this year during like June or something, there was a little conflict between India and Pakistan. I mean, there is forever a conflict between India and Pakistan because of the border. If you look at a map of India, there's like this state at the very tippy top called Kashmir, and there's a part that's called Pakistan-owned Kashmir, Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, and India-occupied Kashmir. So there's always a conflict going on there because of that.
Yeah, but it's interesting that we're now looking at this like maybe it's actually like the whole world is kind of looking around it, and maybe it's that, but maybe it's also not. But just like to get a nice perspective from around the world, see what's going on around the world.
Yeah.
Moving on, Trump says that the U.S. will boycott G20 summit in South Africa, citing that treatment of white farmers. So this Friday, Trump said that no U.S. government official will be attending the G20 summit in South Africa this year. J.D. Vance has been scheduled to attend Trump's place.
In Trump's place, yeah.
In Trump's place, sorry. But he will no longer be going there. According to Trump, it's a disgrace that G20 is being held in South Africa. He cites abuse of the Afrikaners.
Afrikaners is
the native white.
No, not the native.
The white, sorry.
It's their Dutch and German and
French
origin.
The original settlers of South Africa.
The people who came and colonized, but
yeah, the original colonizers.
Yeah.
Not settlers, sorry. That's what I meant. Original colonizers, sorry. Of South Africa. So the Trump administration has long accused the South African government of allowing their persecution and attacks on the minority white Afrikaner farmers. However, the South African government has stated that these accusations have surprised them. White people in the country generally have much higher standard of living than the black residents in the country. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa said that he's told Trump that the information on the alleged discrimination and persecution of white South Africans is completely false. Yet the Trump administration has continued to criticize, and Trump firmly believes that South Africa should be thrown out of the G20.
Which where is he getting this information from? Like, where is he getting these facts from?
Because I'm pretty sure even at the start of his term, I swear there was there was 20 people that came to like the U.S. Right? That are we thinking about the same thing? 20 like white Africans came to the U.S. Mm-hmm. And then they were like claiming asylum, and he said, and he granted it, even though he said he wouldn't grant asylum for anyone.
Yeah, but then he said that he like grant asylum for white South Africans.
Yeah.
And then I remember when the South African president came to the U.S. I remember there was a press conference or that interview or whatever. It was like him and Trump chatting, and Trump was talking about the persecution of.
I don't have the ref. I'm not gonna lie.
No. Well, he's been saying this for quite a while, and I don't know where he's getting these facts from. Okay, those 20 people, but I really don't think it's true.
But the 20 people came?
No. That white South African farmers are getting persecuted.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know though because we're not in their shoes.
Yeah. We don't live in South Africa.
We don't know. They could be, but I would say it's highly unlikely.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you never know, and we're not going to try to judge the fact that they could, perhaps, there's a chance that they could be getting, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
You never know, there's a chance, you know?
I know, it's just Trump. All right, so protesters have targeted a major new Nigerian museum that is involved in a looted artifacts dispute. So on Monday, a protest started at the Museum of Western African Art in Benin City. Nigeria and it started during a dispute over the ownership of Benin bronzes looted by British colonizers. And according to the protesters, the opening of the museum is a violation of Benin City's cultural heritage, which falls under the authority of its traditional ruler, the Oba Benin Uware II. I butchered that, I'm really sorry. So they're upset over the museum's handling of these cultural artifacts, especially the Benin bronzes, and they claim their heritage should be controlled by the traditional ruler of Benin, and rather than the museum or state government. Protesters entered and began vandalizing part of the reception pavilion. But this museum is like brand new. It like opened on Monday. This is a bit of context. And they then stormed inside the front section where the exhibitions are located. And so this museum is located in what was once the capital of the ancient Benin Empire. So I think that had caused even more like outrage, exactly, that's the word. And also what has caused more outrage is that the museum is co-funded by French and German governments and some private donors. And so these Benin bronzes that are kept inside is the bronzes that were looted by a British expedition in 1897. But yeah, I think the handling of previously looted artifacts by colonizers is a very sensitive and tricky topic.
Yeah, because there's many people who think they have a right to have them.
Exactly, because say like, for example, the borders in Africa were all just drawn by a ruler, like by, I think it was like Britain and France and a few other European countries, I think, but it was mostly Britain and France. So these artifacts that were looted belong to currently different countries, even though it was like owned by the same people in those times. And it's the same for like everywhere that was colonized. America, North and South America, Africa, Australia, New Zealand, the South Asia.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very tricky topic. I mean, if you go to the British Museum, you'll find so much looted stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you go to any museum, I think you're guaranteed to find something that like could be is looted.
Yeah, like do you know about the Kohinoor diamond?
No.
So have you seen Queen Elizabeth's crown? Well, RIP. This is like a fat diamond on it.
Yep.
And that's like from India. But the thing is, like, it came from Persia. Yeah. And then when it was taken by the British, it was in India. Yeah. So a bunch of countries like argue about like who actually it belongs to. But it used to be even bigger than what it is now. It used to be like one of the biggest diamonds, and then they just cut it down to make it shine, and it's like tiny compared to what it used to be. It's still a huge diamond, you know, it's massive. But yeah.
Moving on Sunday, more than 1 million people were evacuated in the Philippines as the typhoon Fengwang makes landfall. At least 2 people have been killed as the typhoon reaches the east coast of the Philippines. The typhoon has sustained winds of 185 kilometers per hour and gusts of up to 225 kilometers per hour. The biggest typhoon to threaten the Philippines this is the biggest typhoon to threaten the Philippines in years. Fengwang could cover 2/3 of the archipelago. Scientists have said storms are becoming more powerful due to the human-driven climate crisis, Warmer oceans allow typhoons to strengthen rapidly, and a warmer atmosphere holds more moisture, causing heavier rainfall. So that's because we all know that in that region of Asia, there are quite a lot of typhoons and cyclones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Because I know like cyclones have happened like in India.
Oh, they're the same.
Okay.
So they're the same. Actually, sorry. So they're very prevalent in that area of Asia, and
just recently, a few weeks ago, we were talking about another cyclone.
no,
Another typhoon.
We were talking about a hurricane.
Is that a hurricane?
Yeah, I also think also in Philippines, but I mean
Yeah.
it's prevalent in the region. So so far only 2 people have died. If we get more information, we'll cover it next week.
Yeah.
But they seem to have a pretty good evacuation.
Yeah, but last week there was also another typhoon in the Philippines, and like a lot of people died, and a lot of people are still missing because of it.
Yeah. So that's unfortunate.
And it's
also
all
life is
happening.
tragic.
And it's happening a lot more because of climate change.
Yeah, because of as we just said, the warmer oceans allow typhoons to strengthen rapidly, and yeah, it's just a tragic event.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you for listening to us again for another week. Next week we might have another guest speaker on the podcast.
Oh, and today is Armistice Day, brother.
And today's Armistice Day.
Yeah.
I don't know where my pin went, because she has one on. I had one on this morning. Did you see me with mine?
I wasn't here in the morning.
No. Well, I had one, and then I walked into one of my classes, and I didn't have any more. So
nice.
Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't get another one. But happy Armistice Day as well. I can't believe we didn't start off with that, but
yeah.
Anyways, hope you have a great rest of your week, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.